Howdy, it's tubalcain again, and this is episode number 29B, the answer to my What Is It mystery item series, and there are 3 items here. Be sure and go back and watch 29A if you have not. But what are these 2 little tools? They are engravers, commonly just called gravers, and they would be used by a silversmith or a gunsmith or a jeweler or whatever to carve engravings into, let's say, guns. And they're simply held this way and worked into the metal. Softer metals, I believe, maybe harder metals. There'd be a similar tool used with a small hammer or chasing hammer, I think they're called. So those are engravers. Came in probably hundreds of different sizes and shapes. Item 2 is a pair of Pexto, that is Pexto and Wilcox number 745-1, and I don't know the exact name for these, but they are used as an anvil in roofing work, as far as I understand. Now you can correct me on this, to hammer a standing roof seam with sheet metal roofs. Now, I don't mean the modern roofs that they're putting on every place now. I'm talking about the older roofs. So if I can give you an example, if this would be 2 pieces of sheet metal, could be 20 foot long up the roof, and that's a standing seam like that. And they would take another piece of metal, fold it like that, lay it over. Now, there were other tools that would pinch this down as well, and I think even a dimpler. Probably all different kinds of ways of doing that, but from what I understand, they laid this against it as if it was an anvil and pounded the seam flat. Perhaps it was used in copper work as well, I really don't know. And of course the tinner's hand went like this to hold it. And I suppose they just worked their way up the seam. So that's what those are, to my knowledge, and I'm pretty certain that I'm right. I looked through vintage machinery, and I was looking for a Pexto catalog that showed these. I know I have seen one, but I'm unable to find it if I have it here in my own archives. Perhaps somebody can give us a link. Thank you. And before I talk about the 3rd item, I'm going to show this in an upcoming video, but just a little preview. One of my best buddies is moving and was cleaning up the basement and gave me this nice little Winchester gallery rifle, very similar to the kind I had when I was a boy, 22 long rifle, and certainly one of my favorite rifles. On to the next item. I'm sure there's people out there that hate guns. This is a nozzle tester for diesel injector nozzles. And the brand, it says made in Japan, Diesel Kiki. Directions on how to use it. Now, from what I understand, this is a little hydraulic jack made just for the job. I believe that there should be a gauge here, a pressure gauge, and then diesel fuel, I suppose, put in here, and that's why there's a filter, and a valve to open and close. And then, as far as I know, you would just jack this until you get the pressure, whatever you wanted, on the gauge, and whether or not you get your injector put on here, I guess. Whether or not at that point the injector would squirt and give you a little demonstration of what it was capable of, or what, I do not know. But it's a diesel tester, number 105-785 by Diesel Kiki, made in Japan. Pretty neat little item. But nobody had a use for it. I suppose it's totally outdated. Okay, that concludes this episode of What Is It? I hope you liked it. Be sure and watch my many other videos. This is tubalcain saying so long for now.